Good to have you back. Today, what we're looking at is rhythm playing, and I'm going to use this example song of something by George Harrison. It's just a lovely part, and there's lots to learn here. People often think that when they play rhythm, all they have to do is sort of strum the chords like this, but really, especially in the case of something like this, it's good to be able to reference the melody. You always have to have the melody in mind, and so we're going to look at that sort of more specifically today. As a matter of fact, what comes to mind is I've played with a lot of drummers. And one of the big differences between a really great drummer and a good drummer is that a great drummer will be singing the song himself in his head. He'll always know exactly where he is. He'll know where the melodic phrasing is, not just the progression, but the melodic phrasing. And any fills he plays, he'll play between the melodic phrasing. And rhythm playing and capturing the melody is very, very similar to that idea. Okay, I'm going to take this a little section at a time, and I'm going to explain the sections, and I'll keep sort of packing it together until we end up with a whole. And so here we are. We start with an F chord. Most of this stuff is going to be in open position here, and you probably all remember this sort of iconic beginning. Okay, so what am I doing there? I'm just playing an F with a C down here. But the tricky part is I'm playing the melody at the same time. So I'm chopping out this triad, this second inversion triad with an A melody on top. So there's a bit of a melodic idea already. And then I have to move to the E flat to grab that B flat, which is in the melody. And then I'm playing a G super simply like this, right? And that a leading tone is leading up to that B, in other words, is leading to the key center. And then we're at C, all right? So let's take it that far. You can hear that I'm referencing the melody all the time. I may be over referencing it because you want to leave some room for the singer too. But knowing where that melody is, and it falls so nicely underneath the chords that we have here in open position. Let's just run through what I'm doing with the chords. I've got the digital fretboard up, so. Yeah, so there's my first chord, just a C open position C chord, but I stop at the C note because that's my melody note, right? I don't go all the way up to the E because that's got nothing to do with the melody, that high E. So I have to learn to chop out and the notes that I want, and there's a C major 7 chord. So what we're doing is we're moving from a C down to the C major in the melody, and then down to the C7. Right, okay, so it's like this. And I'm singing it in my head. Okay, I think you get the idea there, right? I'm referencing the melody and playing the melody. If I didn't play the melody, This is more of a really straight rhythm part. Yeah, and you can do it that way as well. But you'll notice that I'm, well, maybe you don't notice, and I'll explain it. I'm listening for the bass line. So this is what's happening in the bass line at the beginning, right? Just pedaling that C. And then down to the C7. And then I keep the F with the C. And then the C with the going up to the /E after the, so F, or probably the F down to the E, I'm sorry. And I'm hearing the, just the pedaling now, the D now. And G. Now let's talk about the A minor. To the point being there, I'm aware of the bass line that I'm playing. Right, I can hear the bass notes. I'm not only listening for the top notes. I'm listening for the bass notes. I'm listening for bass line movement. There's not a lot here, but what there is very important. So A minor, and then A minor with a major 7. And I think we can see that on the digital fretboard. And then A minor with a minor 7. So we've got the same kind of idea here. We've got the A moving to the major 7, chromatically moving to the 7, chromatically. Same idea we had with the C. Moving to the major 7, moving to the... Those are the lines you want to grab, if you're playing rhythm guitar or not, right? Those are the lines that make this a rhythm part. If you were playing this in a studio situation, these considerations are imperative. They're not optional. You have to be able to hear the bottom note. You have to be able to hear the moving lines on the top, and you have to constantly be aware of the melody at the same time, whether you're articulating it as you're playing or whether you're just singing it in your head. It has to be there. I don't care if it's this song or 10,000 other songs. It's the same deal, right? It's real rhythm technique and really learning how to build a part. Okay, so A minor. There's my A minor with the major 7, A minor 7, and I think this D9, we just make it an add 9, right, like that, because it seems to just make sense and sound right. And then we're back to the... And we're back to the top. But you hear again, I'm not doing, right? Because that just doesn't sound right. You've got this leading note. So you always have to be selective with your pick. You have to know where that pick is going. You have to know the notes you're chopping out. It's not... it's not that, right? Okay, and even though it may almost cut it, but it's not going to be the real meat of what's here. Okay, and then we return back to C and do the same part all over again, right? But when we come back at the repeat here, right, we have the same figure, and then this is so clever, and then we just have this A. so on. Okay. I happen to really dig this song. I think George Harrison. Wow, he was so underrated for so long because he was under the the McCartney and Lennon umbrella. It's just his tunes are really beautifully crafted and written, and they have soul to them. I just really like this guy's writing so much. God bless him. So what do we got here? We got an A, and with a nice moving bass line. He loves using this idea, but the chord is pedaling on top. A, right? This is what you're hearing on top. A, right? And you're hearing this bass line. I just threw that in. Okay, and that's a good thing. That's an interesting thing too. If you want to put in a fill, where are these fills going to happen, right? I never fill over top of the melody because that's just rude. And that goes for all you guitar players out there who are working with singers and decide that your fills are more important than the melody. No, they're not. I'm sorry to tell you. So here we have just this really nice simple line moving on below an A chord. And it repeats. Okay, good. Now, talking about fills a little bit, here, if I'm playing an A to a G sharp, well, that tells me, hey, wait a minute, there's no G sharp in the key of C, what's going on here? And then an A, as a matter of fact, the A chord has a C sharp in it. There's no C sharp in the key of C. So we've modulated, and we've modulated, guess what, to the key of A. And so that means my fills are going to be in the key of A, right? So if I'm playing down here in this region, I have to know my my A major scale. And in that position, and I also have to know my C major scale, right? Because I flip between the A major and C major. So here we have. I'm not going to get into a deep harmonic analysis. Safe to say, when I'm on A, I'm playing in the key of A. When I'm on a C chord, I'm playing in the key of C, and I can do that while holding, while sustaining chords. Right? That's just all in A, and here C. Right? So just very simple. I'm still holding on to the chords. It's fat that way. It's not just sort of thin single note lines, and I'm implying the chord. I'm doing it in the right places where the fills belong. Right? I'm not getting in the way of the melody line, right? Or the singer. Respect the singer. Respect the melody. All right. I think that pretty much will give you a good idea. So at the beginning, we use this F chord, this E flat chord, this G chord, and then C chord. Major 7 just moves down a semitone. C7 moves down another semitone and leads to the F, right? Okay, well, there's something else that's sort of important. C, down to major 7, down to 7, and then that goes to the third of the F. That's nice and obvious, right? And then the F down to the E and then to the D, right? So there's all of this movement going on, and if you miss it, you just miss the whole, you miss the tune. And when you're playing the right voicings and you've got the melody in mind all the time, you can just play the guitar part, and people will immediately recognize that tune because it's a part that is individual to that tune. It's not just a strummy kind of thing. It belongs supporting this melody and nothing else. That's what a part is all about, playing a guitar part. Okay, and yeah, so listen to those inner and outer lines. Major 7, 7, and F. Here's that's just supporting the melody. Okay, I think you get it, and work on that. I mean, there's so much there. Learn how to use that pick. Don't always cross over to the high E string in your rhythm playing. Learn to chop out the strings that you want. Listen for bass lines, even if it's just a pedaled bass line. You're again building a part. Listen for the bass line, listen for the moving lines, and always keep that melody line internally or articulate it on the instrument. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you real soon.